Welcome back. As you can hear, trying out the new choirs.
Simply to do. Simply to do. Simply to do.
Ooh, someone sounded a bit out of tune there. I'm not going to cover those in this video because this is more about version 2.2. Although the choir is a big part of the reason we have new toys to play with. First of which is the effects panel. I may as well use it while it's open. So you've now got things like reverbs, compressors, equalizer, and room sound. And there's a little button here that says link settings across all tracks. I presume that's just for that because it doesn't appear to work on anything else. So if I select our soprano, put the reverb on, solo that. Oh dear, I've got some bum notes in there. So this appears to be track-based, not clip-based, which makes sense. But I have to go through each track and select them, which is a right pain. I'm not one to complain, but the other big pain is there's no master effects bypass. If I've got an EQ and a compressor and a reverb set up on one track and, different combinations, I want to be able just to quickly punch all the effects off and on. It's kind of production 101, guys. Moving on. So let's try the new Music XML feature, which is basically an alternative way of storing music files, but it also stores the lyrics, which is kind of cool. I got Google Gemini to generate Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as a Music XML file, and I will open that, and what you will get is where do you want it to go? I'm going to say new tracks, and you'll see the 4 parts. So I've got my lead singer and I've told it to do 3 backing vocalists. And then all you do is hit import. And you have a choice to clean it up automatically. I'm going to say I will process it manually. Okay, so let's assign some voices. So I've got Solaria, basically my whole stable, except for Richie, who seems to have disappeared. Okay. And on Saros, I am going to change him to falsetto, and off we go. Right, I'm going to adjust the levels here. Everybody else down at least 6 dB.
Wrinkled, wrinkled little star, how I wonder what you are.
Not bad. That was literally just a prompt. Generate me singer and 3 backing singers doing a kind of soul version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. While we're at it, let's have a look at the effects properly. Room sound is it's not so much a reverb. This is actually like an ambient setting. So let's just see what this is in the default position here.
Wrinkled, wrinkled.
I'm going to move her back into the distance.
Wrinkled, wrinkled little star.
So it kind of does the job, but honestly, I hear so much phasing there, I will never use that function. Next, equalizer. Well, we all know what that does, and I'm sure they can't screw that up, so let's pass on that. Compressor, and they can collapse them, that's good.
Wrinkled, wrinkled.
So nothing going on here. I'm going to leave it 4 to 1. Change the attack 0.03. And then threshold.
Wrinkled, wrinkled little star.
Okay.
Wrinkled, wrinkled little star, how I wonder what you are.
It works. And then reverb, we have clean, howl, and a room. Let's go with clean. Pre-delay, I don't know, 15, 20. 1 second's fine, and maybe 30%.
Wrinkled, wrinkled little star, how I wonder what you are.
I mean, they're useful while you're working, but it would not be my first choice for effects. And I think they even say that, so I'll let them off the hook. But I would like to see a master bypass for the effects. And I would like to be able to select all the tracks and put reverb on. Next up, the Unison. So I've got 4 Liams, and then you got the spacing. You need to hear it in mono because that's when you really notice the phasing between the different voices. But my favorite new feature, I'm not going to take credit for it, but 2 years ago, I did a wish list video. So I propose that you have a selector. I'm going to pretend here. Bing, oh, there's a selector. And I'm going to tell it to be F minor. And when I select that, we get these little notches on the keys to show us the scale of F minor. And they did kind of what I suggested, where they put the little tabs on the end of the notes. So if I change that scale to E harmonic minor, you see how these all move about, which is good. And the green shading lets you know when you're in the scale. So this is cool, but you know what? I mean, it's got tempo detection now when you import a track. It'd be nice if it detected the scale while it was at it, because once again, you have to set this for every channel, you see? So why, like, it's not usual that people sing in different scales in the same composition. You're getting a bit kind of avant-garde if you're doing that. And so the way I see it, you want to, again, a global scale. Even if you type the notes in yourself, it should be able to figure that out. We can figure it out. It can figure it out. But I'm glad it's here. If you look at my wish list #1 video, as I moved my cursor up and down, I had all the notes over here lighting up just like this, like as if you were here. Because again, that's really useful. So there's an updated render cache, which is a good thing because that just always improves performance. And for me, speed is creativity. Like if I'm ever waiting for anything, I'll forget what I wanted to do, or I'll can't be bothered and I'll just move on. So yeah, speed is always a good thing. So the last thing I wanted to show you is, let's find a voice that can do unison mode. So I'll be Liam. You're up, Liam.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
So if I want to use unison mode on Liam and maybe have 5 singers and spread them out. You can go back and select a track and say split unison into tracks. So theoretically, singers per track 2, I'm going to say 1. So now it's going to create 5 new tracks. There we go. And presumably, these are all basically slightly pitch and time shifted. So let's see if we can see that. Yeah, so they're definitely different takes. So that's cool. It's kind of a handy thing. So instead of using the unison thing that sounds really phasey and you have no control over it, you can split them out into 4 or 3 or whatever you want voices. And that saves you a lot of messing around with timing and pitch. And if things are getting too phasey, then you've got the power to override that and control it. Lots of toys to play with, which is good because it's nice to be able to save reverb and EQ and that into your... If you find a perfect EQ for, say, Liam's voice, why not have it in here and save it? And when you render it, you're halfway there. You're not doing the same stuff in your DAW all the time. And the choir technology, too, is pretty cool because that means there can be more libraries that are a little more specific, like a children's choir or an all-female choir or male choir. Oh, and of course, the gang vocals, like everybody loves that Mutt Lange gang vocals, right? So why not? Okay, hope you found this useful and or interesting, and I will see you soon.